Today we're going to learn about some precision measuring tools. The first one is this precision ruler. Now it's a little bit more detailed than a common ruler because it has up to a 64th of an inch increment that you can read. So every gradation is a 64th of an inch, and it also has a 30-second scale on this one. And on the flip side, it's got a metric scale. So I have centimeters in the middle, I have millimeters on the top, and then I have half millimeters on the bottom. So this is a very handy tool to have around, especially for quick measurements. However, there comes a time in any maker's progress where you no longer just measure to a mark. You develop the intuition whether that's measuring to the left of a mark, to the right of a mark, or right to the middle, depending on what kind of tolerance that you need. So beyond that intuition, there's another tool that allows you to get a little bit more precise. This tool is known as a caliper. This one specifically is a dial caliper. There's other models. There's a digital one that requires a battery. And there's also just verniers that doesn't have the dial. This is one of my favorites because when I grab it, I don't have to rely on the fact that the battery might be dead. So this tool measures three different ways. So it has the jaws that open, where I can measure the outside measurements, like this diameter here. It's also got these upper jaws that I can separate and measure interior distances, like this interior diameter. And then it also has the bottom here, the stem, I'm going to extend, and I need a flat surface. I'm going to press down that flat surface until the bottom of the stem touches, and now I have a depth measurement. Alright, so that works really great for blind holes. So once you've taken your measurement and you've measured your workpiece, to read a caliper is a two-step process. On an inch caliper like this one, the main scale is measured in 0.1 inch intervals. So to read this, you look at the last interval the jaw passes, right here. The dial is measured in 0.001 inch intervals and is measured by identifying where this line is pointing. Reading the caliper is a two-step process. First, look at the sliding jaw and note the last number that it passed. In this case, the jaw has just passed this 5, which is 0.5. If you are ever unsure if the dial has passed the number, notice that the dial rotates as the jaws open. So if the dial reads a low value, the jaw has just passed the number. If it reads a high value, it has not yet passed that interval. Next, look at the dial and determine what number the hand is pointing at. In this case, it is pointing at 63. So that number is 0.063. So the final reading is the sum of these two previous readings. So 0.5 and 0.063, which is a total of 0.563. If you don't have one of these to practice along with, take a look at this website. This is a virtual simulator of a vernier caliper. To practice, go down and select this screen to make it full screen, and then you can slide the jaws right here to quickly adjust, set a measurement, and then try to read it. These are extremely versatile tools that I recommend getting one. You can buy one like this, which is roughly around like $20 to $30, or you can get one even at Harbor Freight or Amazon. They come in all models. You can even get these plastic ones that are a little cheaper, and they do a pretty good job of taking precise measurements. Now they're even as precise to take a measurement of a piece of paper. So if I close the jaws on this, I am reading. I haven't reached the 0.1 yet, but I have got to the 0.002. So that's reading 0.002 inches. Sometimes that's not accurate enough, and your tolerance might be to the tens of thousands of an inch. This next tool is called a micrometer. So this tool can get extremely precise. It can, let's take a look at that measurement of the paper again. I am reading 0.0022 inches. So that's up to 10,000ths of an inch. Some of the parts of this micrometer. We've got our anvil, we've got our spindle, we've got our sleeve, we've got our thimble, and we've got our ratchet stop. As you can see here on the bottom, it tells me my measurement range. So this can actually only measure from 0 to 1 inches, and it gives me every 10,000th of an inch. So this has its limitations. If I were to try to measure the diameter of this piece again, I can't actually do that. Alright, I could measure the height of it and the thickness of the interior wall. However, this has its limitations. So what you would have is a mic set. You would have a 0 to 1, a 1 to 2, and this set goes up to a 5 to 6. All right, with those mic sets, you have mic rods that you can put in here, and you can use a combination of these to take very accurate measurements. As you can guess, this gets a little cumbersome. However, if you need the accuracy up to 10,000ths of an inch, this is the tool you want to grab. To read this measurement, I'm going to look at the first set of graduations, and this is on the sleeve, perpendicular to the spindle. So I'm looking at this, and on an inch micrometer like this one, they are typically etched at 0.025 inches, or 25,000ths of an inch. The second set of graduations are etched on the thimble, which are typically etched at 0.001 inch increments, or 1,000th of an inch. This micrometer has a third set of graduations, which are etched on the sleeve above the first set of graduations, next to the thimble. This is the vernier scale. It is used to measure 0.0001 inch increments, also known as 10,000ths of an inch, or more commonly referred to as 1/10 intervals. To take a measurement, it's easier to slightly close the jaws first and make sure you use the ratchet stop so you don't over tighten the jaws. And I'm going to use this little gauge block to measure, and you'll hear a little click, and that means don't tighten it anymore. That is a very accurate measurement of this gauge block. To read the micrometer, you want to lock in your measurement so it doesn't move on you. And the first reading is you want to look at the first set of gradations on the sleeve. So I'm looking at the nearest line to the thimble. I can see this 1, so that is 0.1 inches. I'm going to look at the nearest line to the horizontal line. So I can see that the horizontal line points between the 15 and the 16. So you want to take the lowest number there, which is the 15. So that is 0.015. To read the vernier scale, you want to take a look at all of these lines and find the one that perfectly lines up with the sleeve and the thimble. So that would be the 8. So that means that's 0.0008. So my measurement would read 0.1158. If you don't have a micrometer to follow along to practice, take a look at this link. This is the virtual simulator of a micrometer. Just click this screen and you can drag the ratchet to quickly adjust your measurements and then spin the thimble to do more subtle incremental changes. So let's put this to practice a little bit. Grab your micrometer or your simulator and grab something to measure. I'm going to use this gauge block. You could do something as refined as a hair. I would do that, but I'm using what I have to work with. So I'm going to put my micrometer on my gauge block and use my thimble. And as soon as I hear that click, I can stop. I'm going to lock in my measurement. And I think it's easiest to have a piece of paper to kind of do this math. So I'm going to read my measurements. I can see that 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm right at the 4th line on my sleeve. I can tell that it's exactly on the line because my 0 is aligned with that horizontal line. So I have each of these lines, remember, is 0.025. I have 4 of them, so that is 0.1. Then I'm looking at my thimble, and I'm reading 0. So I don't even have to write that down. Then I'm going to look at my vernier scale and find the 2 parallel or collinear lines between the sleeve and the thimble. I can see that the 5s are lined up, so that is 0.0005. So 0.0005. You add those together, and your measurement is 0.1005. If I look at my gauge block, you can see there's text on here. So I was right. You can grab anything and take measurements and use that simulator to kind of test your reading. Make sure you turn that eye off so you're actually testing yourself, and then check yourself by clicking that eye on and seeing if you are correct. Do this with several things. Use the micrometer and also the caliper. Now, reviewing these tools in general, This is my favorite because it's so versatile. I don't need a whole set to get a range of measurements. And what I do, I don't need anything more accurate than a thousandth of an inch. That's pretty accurate and enough. Hope you learned something today, and maybe even consider adding one of these tools to your tool bag.